Music is something that I think everybody loves. Music can also have a strong influence on our lives. But when video games and music come together, it can lead to something truly special. So today, I just wanted to sit here and talk about some of my favorite songs and soundtracks from video games. And I think this is a really interesting topic video-wise. I mean, I guess this is my Nintendo Power episode in AVGN terms. By the way, this goes without saying, but I'm sure my music taste is going to be radically different from yours. So feel free to tell me your favorite songs and soundtracks in the comments. Alright, so with the first two, I'm going to be sort of cheating. Starting off with Saints Row 2, this was a soundtrack that I already loved and knew it was going to make this list. As you guys know, if you frequent this channel, I love hip-hop, primarily 2000s hip-hop, and this was definitely one of the games that helped shape that love. Even when starting the game and seeing that beautiful gold menu and hearing Nas blaring as the game loads.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Black, it's time. Word, it's time, man. It's time, man. Alright, begin. Yeah, straight out the fucking dungeons of rap, where fake niggas don't make it back. I don't know how to start this shit. Yo.
But primarily for me, it was always about KRM FM. That was the primary channel I always listened to when I was driving in these games. And for those who don't know, that's the rap station in the game. And this small station and open world game houses some of my all-time favorite songs that I still listen to this day. Great songs in my opinion, like I Love It by Young Jeezy.
Yeah, I'm back in the booth. Them haters still lying, but your boy's still the truth. I don't believe them, I need to see some proof. I ain't need 4 doors, so I went and copped the coupe. They try to be me, I'm just trying to be G. And everything comes to the light, you'll see. Them boys in the dark, baby, I just shine. I do it from the heart, homie, they just rhyme.
Twins by Joe and Pun.
Ready for war, Joe, how you wanna blow they spot? I know these dirty cops that'll get us in if we murder some wop. Hop in your Hummer, the punish is ready. Meet me and Beatles with noodles, we do this do while he's slurping spaghetti. Everybody kiss the fucking floor, Joe, we crack, fuck them all. If they move, noodle, shoot that fucking whore. Dead in the middle of little did we know that we riddle to middleman who didn't do diddly.
Hands Up with G-Unit, which I definitely don't randomly sing the hook of from time to time.
Shawty, when you party with me, we going way back, score to the 3. I said hands up, I'm good in the VIP, I got my hammer right here with me. I said hands up, you know when you party with crooks, you gotta learn to respect the jokes. I said hands up, everything ain't cool as a fan, and shit ain't sweet as it looks. I said hands up.
Hell, this game has A. Marie on its soundtrack, and the shit still goes hard. Which, by the way, that second A. Marie album's a top 5 album all time for me, just saying. But definitely want to cover this game specifically in a future review, but the soundtrack is just so damn special, and because of what I learned just now, puts it even more up there. When doing research for this video, I learned that there were songs by Paramore and Panic at the Disco on here, and I don't remember this ever being a thing, so I had to cut the game on and just to make sure this wasn't bullshit, and yeah, they're there, and I gotta be honest, when I learned this, it completely fucked me up. This changes everything.
Is it still me that makes you sweat? Am I who you think about in bed? When the lights are dim and your hands are shaking as you're sliding off your dress, think of what you did and how I hope to God he was worth it. When the lights are dim and your heart is racing as your fingers touch.
I think it's strange that, and like, not strange and bad, but like strange and fascinating that like just hearing certain songs in our favorite media can get a reaction out of us. But yeah, the fact that literally 2 of my favorite songs and lines The Most Fun a Girl Can Do and Misery Business are in a game that I loved, one of the coolest things I've ever learned. So I immediately reinstalled Saints Row the Third and went to go check the first game. Didn't really find anything notable or new about the first game, although I did find this early New Year's Day song, which is pretty cool. But even the first game has great artists like 36 Mafia and Lloyd Banks. Now, the third game, soundtrack-wise, is a bit more nostalgic because I played the third before 1 and 2. And Saints Row the Third introduced me to a lot of artists that you know today, like Tyler the Creator, Yellow Wolf, Amanda Blank, Don Omar even. And while I think that Saints Row 2 is the subjective best soundtrack in the series, there's no denying that Saints Row as a whole definitely shaped my musical taste. Moving on, let's talk about the Skate series. Now, I could make an entire video on why the Skate soundtracks are special, but I'm just going to put it here. In my Skate 4 video, I didn't really mention that game's soundtrack. It's alright, I guess. It doesn't fit my taste, but I wasn't going to show an entire soundtrack just because of that, so I just didn't mention it. But the first 3 Skate games have bangers on bangers on bangers. Shout out Seamus. Skate 1, as far as soundtracks go, I think it's sort of like Tony Hawk 1 and 2 for my generation. Literally, I was born a few weeks after Skate 1 came out, so I mean that as literal as possible. But soundtrack-wise, it features a wide variety of songs from different genres, artists, and even decades. Songs like The Funeral,
Really too late to call, so we wait for morning to wake you is all we got.
Hip Hop by Dead Prez,
One thing about music, when it hit, you feel no pain. White folks that controls your brain. I know better than that. That's game, man. We ready for that. 2 soldiers head of the pack. Matter of fact, who got the gat and where my army at? Rather attack and not react. Back to beats, it don't reflect on how many records get sold on sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Juice by Eric B. and Rakim, Gangstar, Motorhead, which any game with Motorhead in it is fire by default. Even some Nirvana, but what I think is really special about this game is they had actual artists like Tommy Guerrero make remix versions of the songs in the game. I also really appreciate how much hip-hop is represented in this game. I mentioned Gangstar and Dead Prez, but try NWA or Rick Ross, which, by the way, that Hustlin' remix on the soundtrack is fire.
I ain't petty player, we buy the whole thing. I keep them coming back, we keep them coming back. I know Pablo Noriega, the real Noriega. He owe me 100 favors. I ain't petty player, we buy the whole thing. See, most of my homies hustle, they still do their thing.
But let's say you're not into hip-hop. Well, this game also has great rock bands for you. Bands like Slayer, Agent Orange, the Ramones, the Sex Pistols, and the game makes damn sure you hear these songs because for some reason Skate 1 only had this where, like, when you did a pro challenge, all the pros had their own, like, song, I guess, and still to this day, Rob Dyrdek coming into Hustlin' as a song is the illest shit I've ever seen in any skateboarding game, just gonna be honest. But man, just like the game itself, Skate 2 really topped itself with its soundtrack. It's simply amazing. It starts off with a good impression with that intro song by Animus, which is a banger, by the way. The Dull Blade by ASG, another great metal record, but just the actual artist they got on the Skate 2 soundtrack is just wow. Okay, how about Black Sabbath? Which, while I'm here, honorable mention to Brutal Legend because that game soundtrack rules as well. Once again, we get more Gangstar.
Once you step in the arena, cheetah, you're gonna be amazed when you gaze at the armor on this leader, fully clad and glad to fight a cause I won't pause. Fear is a joke, slow poke. I'm like claws that'll rip, cause your gift is merely flesh, superficial, and I wish you would give it a rest.
Some old school rap songs like LL Cool J's Rock the Bells, even some upbeat songs like Christopher. For some reason, it's really addicting. Like, all these years later, I will still just randomly in my head go, well, this one is for Christopher. Don't know why, but that's how you know a game sticks to me. Now, with a lot of games, I feel like there's like 1 or 2 songs you always associate with that game or whatever you heard it from. And I've chosen 2 for Skate 2.
Get it all in perspective for all y'all enjoyment, a song y'all can step with.
There's no way you can convince me this intro is not hard. If you think otherwise, you're just simply not human. Skate 2 comes in and is like, alright, you know what, it's the sequel, we gotta change things, let's get hype, let's get Nas on the soundtrack. I mean, how can you hate on Nas, especially with this intro?
Girl who fly and talk so nicely. Put her in the coupe so she can feel the nice breeze. We could drive through the city, no doubt, but don't say my car's topless. Say the lease is out. Newness, here's the anthem. Put your hand up that you shoot with, count your loot with. Push the pool stick in your new crib, same hand that you hoop with. Swing around like you stupid.
The other song that I feel like most people associate Skate 2 with is Hold On, I'm Coming by Sam and Dave. Yeah, whoever thought a song from the 60s would go well in a skateboarding game? You're a genius. I hope you got a raise for that. And we can't forget the Public Enemy song, Harder Than You Think.
Rolling stones in the rap game, not bragging. Look bigger than Jagger, not sagging. Spelling backwards, I'ma leave it at that. That ain't got nothing to do with rap. Check the facts, expose those cats who pose as heroes, take advantage of blacks. The government's gangsters, so cut the crap. A war going on, so where y'all at? Fight for power, cause great responsibility. F the police, who's stopping you from killing me?
But I think the soundtrack really sells like the whole punk and grunge vibe to Skate 2, which is why a lot of people prefer it over 3, and I gotta agree. Even though Skate 3 is my favorite game of all time, I think that 2 is the actual, like, consensus best skateboarding game. But now we come to Skate 3 soundtrack, and yeah, that's the shit right there. Anybody who knows me knows this is my game. I love this game, so naturally I love the soundtrack. Now, with anything, a lot of the songs in this game have just become a giant meme on the internet, like Going Up to the Country by Canned Heat, but this game soundtrack kind of raised me in a way. Some of my favorite songs to this day are songs like Lover's Leap by Bim Sherman, Right Place, Wrong Time by Dr. John, Put 'Em in Their Place by Mobb Deep. ODB is in this game, which is just crazy as hell, and even MF Doom gets some love, which I didn't learn till recently, honestly. But recently, I had a pretty funny situation with Skate 3. For once, I actually left the house, and I was at the Napa store with my grandpa, and Cracklin' Rosie comes on the speakers. Now, any normal person would just go, hey, cool song, but me, no. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, yep, Skate 3, I'm back home. And just in my opinion, like, even if you don't like every song, Skate 3 probably has one of the best put-together soundtracks out of any game, in my opinion. But there is one song that this game has that has transcended its original release, in my opinion, and it is just the Skate 3 song, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
When they see me off in traffic, they say Jeezy on some money. Send them, running straight back to the dealership. Me, I'm in my spaceship, that's right, I work for NASA. This FNH is not a fraud. Call it my bodyguard. Call it the bodyguard. Yeah, that's my bodyguard. Wear a lot of jewelry. Young don't do security.
Don't get me wrong, Jeezy is one of my favorite artists in general, and this game, along with my dad, really helped shape that, but I can't be the only one who remembers turning every other song off except Put On in Skate 3 so it would play 24/7. If you did this also, please comment and let me know. Moving on, you already knew the SVR series would be on here in some form, and I gotta be honest, I love all the SmackDown vs. Raw soundtracks, but if I gushed about all of them, we'd be here for 3 hours, so I'm just gonna talk about my personal favorite. 2008. While the game itself was mid, the actual soundtrack itself is a banger. You really could swap it out for 2007, and it wouldn't really be a problem. It's interesting how much media can influence our taste in things. Like, when I was little, I primarily only listened to rap and R&B because that's primarily what my parents listened to, and I hated country music. So, these early wrestling games really did kind of open the door for rock and metal music for me. While I can't say I listen to the majority of the bands themselves, a lot of the songs from this game are on my playlist still to this day. Songs like Everybody Down, Put Your Lips to the TV, Driven, which I actually modded into 2K soundtrack recently. Also, can we just quickly acknowledge that a WWE game has an 8-Ball MJG song on the soundtrack? That is awesome.
South, stand up, we man up. These that don't show us no love. South, stand up, we man up. These that don't show us no love. Be strong, be a man, don't lie.
Honestly, the entire soundtrack for SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 is really good, and I honestly prefer it over 2007's in my personal opinion. And maybe that's blasphemy, but it's just my opinion. Yeah, I'm back talking about Def Jam Icon again. What a fucking shocker. Jokes aside, though, if it's one thing that Def Jam Icon did do right, it's its game soundtrack. Granted, it's entirely hip-hop, so if you don't really like hip-hop that much, you're kind of screwed. But hey, you know, nonetheless, there are heaters on this soundtrack, let me tell you. Each character has at least 1 to 2 of their own songs, and this game has some legends in it, some of my personal favorite rappers of all time. I'm honestly just gonna go ahead and do like a little montage of my personal favorite songs from the game, so enjoy.
Authentic, check my tag. Drive an old school Chevy drop top with the rag. And I'm so braggadocious with a real mean swag. A couple thousand for the fit, oops, in me to brag. Hey, blowing purple smoke, they call me Puff the Magic Dragon. I get SB dunks, red monkeys, now I'm bragging. Pulled up on this bitch, talking reckless, flashing bread. Put that funk all on me, look down it, and I see.
City, pretty, no I'm shining dog. Ride with a couple Latin bras and I'm China dog. Hey, you know how we ball. Right in the shiny car. Walk in the Santa Mall. Like everything we saw. You know about me, dog. Don't talk about me, dog. And if you doubt me, dog, you better out me, dog. No nuts, no glory. My body, damn right, the true story. The city on fire, and I didn't even try. Run the streets all day, I could sleep when I die.
Cause if you're looking for me, you can find me on the block disobeying the law. A real G, thoroughbred from the streets, pants sagging with my drawers. Just keep on moving now, just to keep on.
Oh my, stay focused.
Before getting paper, I buy big cars. 8 fly rides just to drive in my garage. Stay sky high, fly with the stars. G4 flights, 80 grand large. So we lean with it, pop with it.
So, believe it or not, there's actually a bit of an interesting song mystery in this game, at least to me. Fat Joe's Make It Rain is in the game, but it's not the version that we all know. The release version has Lil Wayne on the hook, while this version just has Joe.
Make it rain on these niggas.
Joey crack. Yeah, I'm in this bitch with terror. Got a head full of stacks. Better grab an umbrella. I make it right. I make it right. I'm in this bitch with terror. Got a head full of stacks. Better grab an umbrella. I make it right. I make it right. Make it rain on them hoes. I make it right. I make it right. I make it rain on them hoes. I make it right. I make it right. I make it rain on them hoes. I make it right. I make it right. I make it rain on them hoes.
Make it rain on these niggas. It's Joey Crack, man. Understand the game. New York Trap, man. Understand the game. We make it rain on them. We make it rain on these bitches. We make it rain on them. We make it rain on these bitches. It's Joey Crack, man. Understand the game. New York Trap, man. Understand the game. We make it rain on them. We make it rain on these bitches. We make it rain on them. We make it rain on these bitches.
So, I wonder if this was like a super early version and they just used it, or they didn't want to pay Wayne, so they just had Joe make his own version. EA is so petty, they're like, nah man, we gotta make it rain at home. Alright, and to kick it off, we gotta talk about Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. Rockstar, for whatever reason, never disappoints with their soundtracks, and MC3 might have one of the most stacked song listings ever. The majority of the game's menus and trailers focused on hip-hop, with the game also getting its own CD mixtape that launched with it back in 2005. But Midnight Club has hip-hop fans covered with great songs like Go DJ by Lil Wayne, 123 by Fabulous, You Don't Know Me by T.I., Bodyhead Anthem by Roy Jones Jr., Yes the Boxer. This game also has one of the freakiest damn songs in the history of our sport. Somehow, they managed to put Freak a Leak in a T-rated game. Rockstar had us out here bending corners listening to a song about sex, and no one cared. Like, this is crazy. Also, we cannot forget the Midnight Club 3 song.
House real big, cars real big, dick real big, everything real big, rims real big, pockets real big, rings real big. Let me tell you how I live. Like that, buy that, 24s ride that. Ladies, gentlemen, gangsters, pimps, bitches, hoes, stunners, shiners. Rich bitch, I'm a fucking big time king of the hood. Everything wood.
Considering the game is very focused in hip-hop culture, and the artists they chose are all good picks in my opinion, all things considered, but it doesn't just stop with hip-hop. No. This game also has a great collection of dancehall music with artists like Beanie Man and Sean Paul, Damian Marley, who I discovered from this game. And with Midnight Club, I think its soundtrack is honestly one of the best parts of the game. Actually, it's one of the best parts of any game in my opinion. Now, before we conclude, I do want to give a couple honorable mentions. Lots of great rock and new metal here, but with how small the soundtrack listing is in this game, it gets an honorable mention. Considering it's technically mixes and not like a full-blown soundtrack, I guess it technically doesn't count, but fuck it, it's my video, I'm putting it on honorable mention anyway. And with that, that was some of my favorite songs and favorite soundtracks from video games. You know, if you want in the comments, let me know your favorite songs and soundtracks, and yeah, do all the YouTuber stuff. I'm trying to hit 2,000 subs before the year ends. If we do, I have a special plan. I'm going to review Half-Life 2. That'll be the 2K subscriber special because my friends have been bitching and pestering me to play the damn game, so I'm like, alright, if we get 2K before the year ends, I'll review it as a special. So if you want to see me review Half-Life 2, consider subscribing, sharing my video, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're new to this channel, I review a bunch of games from different genres. I don't really cover one set, niche, or whatever. I don't do that shit. I cover pretty much whatever I want. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace. I'm out.